Good evening. Welcome to This Is Exclusive. We begin with our top focus. Viewers, unprecedented scenes on the streets of Kolkata, where the Supreme Court order has been blatantly violated by the Mamata Banerjee government. And the only thing we want to ask Mamata Banerjee is how she's blatantly violating a Supreme Court order that said, do not unleash the power of the state machinery on peaceful protesters. Shockingly, that's exactly what she's done. We look at our headlines, we speak to lawyers, and we try and understand, has Mamata Banerjee lost the plot?
Presented by Royal Global University, Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano.
Barricades dragged and broken, police lathi charge, use of tear gas on protesters. Visuals on our screen show the brutality of protesters demanding justice and the brutality on them.
ना कोई पुलिस का बैरिकेड में मैं हाथ दिया था, कुछ भी नहीं। ये जॉल कमान कंटिन्यूअसली जॉल कमान मार रहा है, टीयर गैस छोड़ा है, लाठीचार्ज कर रहा है। अब बोल रहे हैं कि हम आपको नहीं मारेंगे, आप चले जाइए यहाँ से, आप चले जाइए।
Women protesters, young and old, are dragged. They are picked up. One of them narrates her ordeals. She was beaten mercilessly without any provocation. The demand of the protesters, loud and clear. Mamata Banerjee, Chief Minister, Home Minister, Health Minister should all resign. With protesters just few meters away from Nabanna, police barricade Chief Minister's office. They seal all routes leading to Nabanna.
सत्य को बाहर आना चाहिए, इसलिए जांच एजेंसी सीबीआई जांच कर रही है। वो पॉलीग्राफ टेस्ट करे ममता बनर्जी का और पुलिस कमिश्नर का।
Protesters injured. BJP goes all out against Mamata, says Mamata's polygraph test must be conducted.
এবং সেই ব্যাপারে সমস্ত তথ্য প্রমাণ অকাট্য প্রমাণ আমাদের হাতে রয়েছে এবং নির্দিষ্ট সময় সেগুলো সব প্রত্যেকটি আমরা আপনাদের সঙ্গে শেয়ারও করব। এই দুষ্কৃতীদের আমরা ধরে তাদের আমরা অ্যারেস্ট করেছি এবং তাদের বিরুদ্ধে প্রয়োজনীয় আইনানুগ ব্যবস্থা হবে। কথোপকথন এরকম ছিল, কালকে লাশ ফেলতে হবে, বডি ফেলতে হবে।
So we have got
বডি না
hold
ফেললে
of
আন্দোলন
the
কিসের?
goons
এই ধরনের
because
আলোচনা
we had
বিভিন্ন
proofs
হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ
against
গ্রুপে
them.
হচ্ছিল, বিভিন্ন ফেসবুক হচ্ছিল।
They yesterday
সেটা আমরা
they had
পেয়েছি
said that
এবং তার
today they
ভিত্তিতে
were going to
আমরা
kill
সুনির্দিষ্ট
someone
action
and
আমাদের
make someone dead,
পর্যাপ্ত
so we
পুলিশি বন্দোবস্ত
prevented
আজকে
that.
ছিল, কলকাতাতেও ছিল, পশ্চিমবঙ্গেও ছিল। নবান্ন অভিমুখী সমস্ত রাস্তায় আমরা
So
ব্যারিকেড
we have taken action because we had information that goons are going to create havoc and murder someone.
নির্দেশে শান্তিপূর্ণ আন্দোলনকে কোনো হস্তক্ষেপের প্রশ্ন ছিল না, আজও ছিল না। কিন্তু আন্দোলন কিরকম শান্তিপূর্ণ থাকলো,
We had set up barricades in all roads leading to Nabanna because it is a protected area.
আন্দোলনকারীরা এলেন, পশ্চিমবঙ্গের ছাত্র সমাজ উই ওয়ান্ট জাস্টিস প্ল্যাকার্ড নিয়ে, তারপর ব্যারিকেড ধরে সাঁতরাগাছি হোক, হাওড়া ময়দান হোক, ব্যারিকেড ধরে তারা ঝাঁপানো শুরু করলেন। ব্যারিকেড ধরে ঝাঁকানো শুরু হলো। পুলিশ তখন বারবার, একবার নয় একাধিকবার লাউড হেলারে বারবার ঘোষণা করতে থাকে এটা সংরক্ষিত এলাকা, ব্যারিকেড ভাঙবেন না। তার ভিডিও রেকর্ডিং আপনারাও দেখিয়েছেন, আমাদের কাছেও আছে। কিন্তু তারপর কি ঘটলো আমরা দেখেছি।
Police was constantly requesting everyone to keep
করা হলো না। সাঁতরাগাছি দিয়ে শুরু, ব্যারিকেড ভাঙা, গার্ড রেল উল্টানো, পুলিশের দিকে লাঠি, সোটা, বোতল বৃষ্টি, অনর্গল লাগাতার ইট পাথর বৃষ্টি।
It started from Santragachhi.
ভাঙচুর,
The barricades were broken.
পুলিশকে মারধর করা, পুলিশকে রক্তাক্ত করা, আহত করা,
Sticks were used
গাড়ি
by
জ্বালিয়ে
them.
দেয়া।
They also
আমরা
threw
দেখতে পেলাম
bottles and
পশ্চিমবঙ্গ ছাত্র
stones.
সমাজের আন্দোলনের নামে একদল দুষ্কৃতীদের
They beat
বেপরোয়া
up police.
বেলাগাম
They injured
বিশৃঙ্খল
policemen.
তাণ্ডব
They
ছাড়া আর কি
burnt
বিশেষণ
police vehicle.
প্রয়োগ করা যায় আমরা জানি না। তাণ্ডব বোধহয় খুব নরম বিশেষণ হলো।
We saw that in the
সম্পূর্ণ বিনা
name of
প্ররোচনা।
West
এবং একটা
Bengal
সময় আমরা বুঝতে
students,
পারি যে আজকে
a
পূর্ণ
group of
কর্মদিবস।
goons
It was a full-fledged
created
working
havoc
day.
all across.
আমাদের অ্যাকশন নিতে হবে এই দুষ্কৃতি নাহলে এমন কিছু ঘটনা ঘটিয়ে ফেলবে
Without any
যাতে
provocation,
সাধারণ
they
মানুষের-
created
আজকে
such
মানুষ কাজে
chaos.
বেরিয়েছিলেন, সমস্ত দপ্তর খোলা ছিল, একটা কর্মব্যস্ত দিন, সেইখানে
We
অশান্তি
have
করে
to
এমন
take
একটা
action,
পরিস্থিতি তৈরি করার
otherwise
চেষ্টা হচ্ছিল
these goons
যাতে
could
এমন
have
কিছু
created
ঘটনা ঘটে
much
যায় যে
more
সাধারণ
havoc.
মানুষের কোনো ক্ষতি হয়ে যায় বা পুলিশকে এতটা প্ররোচনা দিয়ে দেয়া যায়
It's a working
যাতে পুলিশ
day.
এমন কিছু করে ফেলে
And
যাতে
they started
আন্দোলনকারীদের
creating
সুবিধা হয়।
havoc.
পুলিশ সেই ফাঁদে পা দেয়নি। পুলিশ আহত হয়েছে, রক্তাক্ত হয়েছে, যেখানে যতটুকু প্রয়োজন সাধারণ মানুষের
They
নিরাপত্তা
wanted to
বজায় রাখতে,
instigate the
শান্তি
police so
বজায়
that the
রাখতে
police
পুলিশ
does
সেখানে
something
ততটুকু
that
বল
they can
প্রয়োগ
create an
করেছে।
issue out of.
কিন্তু পুলিশ রক্তাক্ত হয়েও বারবার আক্রান্ত হয়েও
To maintain the minimum law and order and to protect the common people, we have done what we have done. Even after the police was attacked, we continued.
Viewers, I want to go across to a renowned top lawyer, senior advocate in the Supreme Court, and someone who's understood and worked and seen the workings of the Kolkata government and the dictatorial attitude very, very closely. I welcome on the show Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani. Mr. Jethmalani, we've seen the words, the visuals on the streets today where women and men have been lathi charged, water cannon, tear gas has been used. Just before you came on the show, we just heard the police, Kolkata Police authorities speaking about how this is the action they need to be taking. I ask you one question, has Mamata Banerjee lost the plot when there is complete disregard and brutality on young and old women, on men, on even veteran protesters today, sir?
Madam, I mean, you know, the visuals are all out there for everybody to judge for themselves. I don't think there was anything in crowd behavior that justified tear gas, that justified dragging people on the road, that justified water cannons. I think it's all disproportionate use of force. It was a peaceful protest. I think the police incited the crowd. It is their actions which got the crowd angry. Look at this, I mean, just look at the kind of assault that, they've inflicted on people, including the aged people, women. And on the one hand, the TMC MPs say that, I didn't see any women in the protests, and it was only a picnic. It was a picnic for the police because it was their rebel in brutality. That's what happened. We don't have to just, this is not the only incident, Rhythm. This has been an age-old situation, but Mamata has got away with it repeatedly. I mean, the post-poll violence was it was a reign of terror, and the CBI is investigating it. Some charge sheets have been filed, lots of them have to be filed. Then you had Santragachhi only recently, and you remember what happened in Santragachhi. The Mamata government protected Shahjahan Sheikh. He was allowed to abscond for 55 days. He attacked the ED. There's an attempted murder case against him. This goon, along with his brother and other hoodlums, is now the subject matter of an attempted murder against ED officers. And Mamata government protected him. He was absconding. The Calcutta police couldn't find him. What faith do you have in this police? They only do the bidding. I mean, they are co-sharers in everything that the Mamata government does. The police is part of the fascist state. It's party and police.
I completely understand and empathize with the emotions, Mr. Jethmalani, that you are saying. It's also shocking that the Supreme Court, which took suo motu cognizance of this matter, you were a part of that hearing for interveners, sir. So you've heard the Chief Justice's emotions on this case, but shocking, many times in the courtroom he said that the state government powers should not be unleashed on peaceful protesters. It's also a part of the second order that the Supreme Court's come out with. How is she trying to get away with blatant disregard and violation of the Supreme Court order?
Well, I don't want to say anything on a matter that's sub judice. I have no doubt that the Supreme Court, having taken suo motu cognizance of the rape case on Abhaya, will now equally take suo motu cognizance on today's what happened today in Calcutta. So I think we should leave it to the wisdom of the Supreme Court. It's better not to influence, or make comments on these things. We should really first get justice for Abhaya, get down to the truth of that. This is a necessary protest. It's a spontaneous protest. And look, if anybody says that the police have acted proportionately, then these visuals, they're blind to these visuals. Every time I'm looking at it, you are seeing the complete brutality and violence on the part of the police. The police don't seem to have any respect. They've lost that. This is no longer a friendly police. They're antagonistic to citizens. They will do anything at the bidding of the ruling dispensation. And the present incident doesn't put, like many other incidents, doesn't put the present dispensation in West Bengal in good light.
It's an all-out police brutality in Kolkata, in Howrah that we are seeing, sir. We've also seen Mamata is now facing a public and a people's revolt. That's the tagline today, people versus Mamata. She needs to understand it cannot go on any longer. The BJP's today asked for resignations. They've also said it needs to be done quickly. I also want to ask you, the tweet that you've put out, very pertinent. Where is the Mahila MP brigade of the TMC that since 2 days before was talking vociferously, aggressively about how action has been taken by the Kolkata police? Why are they not speaking on the action that's been taken today?
Well, the obvious inference, Rhythm, is that this is a very, partisan Mahila MP brigade. They completely ignore any incidents, and these are brutal incidents at home. Not one of them has spoken out. Not one of them said Shahjahan Sheikh needs to be arrested. Not one of them. West Bengal is now becoming an insulated state of violence within India. Don't expect anything from the MPs to be critical of their own government. They're all dependent on Mamata for power. They are not going to say anything against their own government. They will make excuses. They will turn a blind eye. They will remain mute. I suppose Lapata ladies best sums them up.
Yes. Sir, we are seeing state oppression, repression. We've seen this, I remember, during Nirbhaya, where there was water cannons being thrown on protesters who came from all across. I was covering it at that time. I remember tear gas was, used on these protesters, peaceful ones. Similarly, Mamata Banerjee going the same way. The answer to the government at that time came very, very critically when they were thrown off power. Do you not think that the state repression is going to completely lead to Mamata Banerjee having to resign?
There's been long simmering anger, I think, in the people of West Bengal. We've seen it. Mamata wins major parliamentary, the majority of parliamentary seats, and she wins state assembly elections. But the percentage vote of the opposition is going up. The BJP in particular is going up. It will come to the fore, right? One of these days it's going to come. I think people are getting more and more revolted by what is happening in the state of West Bengal.
Yes.
And I think the time has come now. This seems to be an extremely spontaneous protest. What's been happening by the doctors and by others, the public support that has come out is actually the pinnacle now. This is, the last straw. Let me tell you that the kind of horror that this girl must have been subjected to has happened in the past as well. The Santragachhi women, right, were also the victims of extreme gender violence. So also what happened in post-poll violence. A lot of it was directed against women. There were gang rapes. There was a gang rape of minor. There was a gang rape of a minor only because she happened to be a young, 11-year-old minor of a BJP family. There are videotapes from those days of people who are hiding of a BJP man who was hiding. His brother was looking for him, and he videoed he videoed his last moments before he was come and beaten to death by goons of Mamata Banerjee.
Today, the CBI, Mr. Jethmalani, is also asked for the Kolkata police officers. She was at the helm of affairs. The Supreme Court asked for her. They've said that there should be certain tests, polygraph tests that should be conducted on her. It seems that there was a lot of complicity in this case, where even after the crime scene, and as a top criminal lawyer of this country, you would know, it seems the crime scene had been tampered with, because the CBI has come out with that statement, and we've seen visuals of how after her rape and brutal murder, there were a lot of people outside that place, which included lawyers, which included some doctors, and shockingly even forensic experts.
Yes, but again, there are two issues with that. First of all, this is now a CBI investigation, which is in a sealed envelope. So people like me, even though I'm a lawyer, right, should refrain from making comments even on some things which may be very obvious, right? All we can say today is that there is no reason given for the gross delay in the filing of the FIR. That video, which has come out today and has been confirmed as being genuine, when originally it was denied as being genuine, does show that there has been an unnecessarily large crowd near about the crime scene. From what I understand, there were some curtains put up on a crime scene, right? So that they divided the crime scene into two areas. But the crime scene is not only one where the actual murder takes place or where the deceased body is lying. The crime scene is a surrounding area as well, because you have to pick up clues from the entire area. In cases of murder, hair follicles, a nail, fingernail, footprints, fingerprints, all these are part of the vital evidence on the crime scene. Forensic evidence has to be gathered in respect of those. So I don't know how somebody artificially puts up somebody demarcates what the crime scene is and then puts up curtains and allows people outside that area to be there. So all this doesn't make sense to me. All I can say is that the investigation techniques of the Calcutta police, particularly in this case, seem to be extremely strange. Their record is not, their case diary record is a little confused. As I said, the FIR is delayed. Right? I don't know if there's any fingerprinting. Today we are told it's not a gang rape. But how do you know that there was not more than one person involved in this case?
And sir,
when there is no fingerprinting done on the body, on the deceased body, how do you know? Unless somebody says, yes, fingerprinting was done. Till fingerprinting evidence of the deceased body is not disclosed, I will continue to have a doubt about how many people were involved.
that's very important, and I don't think the Kolkata police has even thought of doing things which will actually shed light on what really happened. But Mr. Jethmalani, another question. You've been in the courts, you've seen how the Kolkata government works. The Calcutta High Court admonished them in this case. Do you think that the protests that are carried out by the TMC themselves are peaceful, or are they filled, like you've written in your tweet, filled with death and destruction?
What has happened? I mean, I look at the victory parades, the mobs going on, victory parades, post-poll violence. What happened then? It was mayhem. There was death and destruction. There was gang rapes of minors. And I'm saying this with knowledge of the record. I had argued this case before a full bench of the Calcutta High Court. It came to the Supreme Court, was repeated there. The CBI investigation was continued. Repeatedly, incidents of the grossest violence, the most heinous violence, repeatedly are not being investigated. Is every judge of the Calcutta High Court some BJP supporter just because he does it, just because he transfers the case to the CBI? Why are so many cases from West Bengal of completely effete, dishonest investigation being transferred by the Calcutta judiciary and being upheld by the Supreme Court for transfer to the CBI? What does that speak about this state?
I agree.
Is everybody outside West Bengal stupid and corrupt? Or does the real truth lie that this is a brutal, repressive regime who has to be stopped at all costs?
Yes, Mr. Jethmalani, you've appeared for journalists in the Calcutta High Court when there was action, arrests, FIRs being filed against certain digital podiums also, which were talking against Mamata Banerjee, and you've managed to get wonderful orders. You've got stays on this. How long do you think the TMC government, the Mamata Banerjee government, is going to try this repression, this death, this destruction, and this crackdown on even people who are trying to report freely on what's happening in the state?
But I can't understand this, right? There is a very, very serious incident of rape in a medical college premises, right, of a young lady doctor. Right? Now, people are outraged by it. There has been no political involvement from day one. I mean, there have been the entire medical association of doctors, not just in Kolkata, not just in West Bengal, but in various parts of the country, were outraged by this. Ordinary, peace-loving, law-respecting citizens have been outraged by this. The reaction, Mamata's reaction baffles me. Why wouldn't she let people, right? If the state government had nothing to hide in this, why wouldn't she let people who are outraged by this have spontaneous protests?
Yes.
There is no doubt that there is absolutely no doubt that the Kolkata Police in this case, right, starting with Vikram Goel and others, right, there is no doubt the police commissioner, that the Kolkata top brass in the police have acted extremely strangely. What are you trying to do by repressing people like these? I mean, are all these people who are lying on the ground, all these young women, all these students, are they all BJP people? What? Why are you taking this disproportionate action or letting your police take this disproportionate action? Doesn't that create an influence against you? Are you that thick-skinned?
I also want to ask you, as someone who's been at the helm of very important and very pertinent criminal cases that have seen the light of the day, what do we make out of the shocking admission of the Kolkata Police that the main accused, Sanjoy Roy, was using a bike that was registered in the name of the Kolkata Police Commissioner? Does this not raise serious concerns?
Of course it does. It's a racket. Rhythm, this is a racket. It's a, it is between the political class and the police. It is seamless. They're one and the same. You cannot, the political class in West Bengal cannot indulge in the rackets it is indulging if you are an effective, upright, independent police force. So they've subverted that police force. They all speak like they're Mamata's mouthpieces in every incident. That's why I say the acid test is, why are so many cases of violence and corruption? It's not just the violence, the rapes, the murders, the Shahjahan Sheikhs. It's also the education scam which is being investigated outside. How many cases have you seen of crores of cash having been seized in Kolkata, in West Bengal? It is, and this is a complete dysfunctional state, ruled by, I'm sorry to say, a mafia goon government.
Yes. Absolutely. Mr. Jethmalani, I thank you for your time. Your anger is palpable, not only as a senior advocate, not only as a politician, but also as an eminent citizen in India. Answers are being asked for you from the Mamata Banerjee government that's completely silent. We have to get to the bottom of this and see and explore options that are being given out for the TMC government. Thank you for being with us, sir.
Thank you.
The biggest news today continues to be the unprecedented crackdown on peaceful protesters, viewers. How is the Mamata Banerjee government going to speak on this in the top court when the case comes up? Because it's a blatant violation of the Supreme Court order. All that will be seen. Thank you for being with us, and this is exclusive. This is our top focus that we continue tracking throughout the day and the week.